to Cat in a Box. So this is a game. It's a trick-taking game. Anybody familiar with the trick-taking game?
Yes.
So similar to something like pitch or euchre. Not entirely, and I'll explain all the differences as we go. So this game is based on the idea of Erwin Schrödinger's thought experiment of the cat in the box, or Schrödinger's cat. Anybody familiar with Schrödinger's cat? So the cat is in the box with the poison pellet, but we don't know if the poison pellet has been deployed or not. So until we open the box, we don't know if the cat is alive or dead, which means that the cat is theoretically simultaneously alive and dead, and we don't know until we observe the cat which one of those two is the case. Well, here what you're going to be observing is notice how all of these cards are just black. They do not have colors. The colors are the suits for this game. So you do not determine what color a card is until it is played. That is the thing being observed. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle in the two cards I was randomly missing. Apparently it's going to be one of those days. And then I'm going to go ahead and deal. So like most trick-taking games, somebody is going to lead, and the other players will need to follow suit if they can. What makes this game different is that you have to decide when you lead what color the card you're playing is, so what color are you leading, and the other players have to decide if they can follow suit. So do they actually have cards of the same color that you just played? They may choose to say that they do not. So you're welcome to pick up a hand of cards and take a look at them. Okay, so something you need to know about this deck of cards, there are in fact 5 of each of the numbers 1 through 8 in the deck that I just dealt out to you. You do not want to be stuck with the 5th of a number, because that is a card that you cannot play. So if all 4 8s, and you're going to indicate when you play a card what color it is with these little tokens, if all 4 8 slots are full, then you cannot play a fit. Then if you have the 5th 8 card in your hand, it becomes a liability. It is a card that you cannot play. If you get stuck with only cards that you cannot play, that causes a quantum paradox and the universe implodes. Also, you lose points for that round. So you probably want to avoid the quantum paradox, universe exploding. So what's going to happen is you're going to the first thing you're going to do is discard a card. So keeping in mind that you don't want to cause any quantum paradoxes, and that otherwise it's a traditional trick-taking game where numbers are high. Red is trump, although since the cards you have don't have any colors, that shouldn't change what you choose to discard very much. So you're going to each discard 1 card of your choice. So that's just out of play. So then, as I mentioned, red is trump. Red cannot be led until it is broken. If you're familiar with hearts, yeah, that same idea. So somebody has to play it on a previous round before you can lead with a red card. Before we start, you're going to make a bid of how many tricks you think you're going to be able to take this round. So you want to look at, do you feel like you have a lot of high cards? Do you feel like you have a lot of low cards? What's going on there? Decide, do you think you're going to take 1, 2, or 3 tricks this hand? You're going to put one of your little indicator tokens on that number to indicate that that's what you think is going on.
Does it matter which token we use?
Nope, they're all identical.
Okay.
So you want to leave those, you want to use an extra one. Leave the colored ones where they are. Sorry. I was not clear. So don't worry if you don't make your bid. You don't lose points for not making your bid. It's not that kind of game. You will get 1 point per trick that you take at the end of the round, regardless of whether or not you make your bid, so there's no penalty. Unless you cause the quantum paradox and implode the universe, then there's a penalty. But if there's no penalty for not making your bid, the point of making your bid is that if you exactly match your bid, so if you were to get exactly 2 tricks, you would get 2 points. Sorry, you would get a point for every, so 1 point for each piece in your largest orthogonally adjacent cluster. So here, if he were to make his bid of 3, he would get 3 points for taking 3 tricks, and then he would get 3 additional points for this cluster of 3. This one doesn't count because it's diagonal. Does that make sense? All right, so who wants to go first?
I nominate him.
Okay, you've been nominated. So you go ahead and choose a card. You can't be red this first play, but decide what it is, and then you're going to set it on your player aid to indicate what it is.
So I could be blue?
So you're choosing the blue 7. So then you're going to put one of your little atoms. So then the question is, do you have blue to follow suit?
And you can just decide what color.
You decide, but remember, if you say you don't have blue to follow suit, you're saying you don't have any blue cards for the rest of the round.
Okay.
So you're going to play the blue 8. So you're going to take one of your little beakers and put it on blue 8. And that is the blue 8. So we've collapsed the quantum wave function here. We've looked in the box. We now know what that card is. It's the blue 8. Which means if any of you have 8s in your hand, well, I can tell you one thing about them, they're not blue. Because there's only one blue 8 and we just played it.
Gotcha. Okay. So that's number 2.
Blue 2.
Okay.
All right, so blue 8 takes that trick. So you collect the cards, just set them off to the side like you would in any trick-taking game where you need to count how many tricks you've taken, and you lead. So you can't start with red because it hasn't been broken yet, but you could make the 8 of. Yes, you can absolutely do the yellow 8. So then go ahead and put the yellow 3. All right, so yellow 8 takes it, and you get to lead again.
They serve a bigger purpose than just telling other people what you cannot play. At the beginning of the round, all of
The green 6. All right, so put your. Brilliant.
do that by covering up a 1, 2,
Green 3.
Okay. The green 7. All right, so you've decided you have no more green. So you have to take the little piece off your green, which indicates to the rest of the table you're not allowed to play green for the rest of the round because you have said you don't have any. But it also means you take the trick because you trumped in on it. Now trump is broken and can be led.
diagonals don't count as touching, so if you make a big cluster on the board,
All right, so you're leading with red 2. Go ahead and.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
All right, and you've gone over there with the red 8 coming in strong. So you need to decide if you still have red to play.
everyone will deal 1.
Yeah.
All right, the red 4.
Yellow friend, let's have you lead
And the red 5.
for us. Go ahead,
So red 8 takes it.
what color it is, and away we go.
I lead.
Yep. All right, so put your blue 5.
Blue 6.
Blue 6.
Sorry, back up, pick up your cards. Forgot one important thing. We actually start by everyone chooses a card from their hand and discards it from their hand.
Okay, so that means you don't have blue. So you can go ahead and put your token on the red 7, but you also need to, exactly.
Or something. It'd be really good to discard.
All right, so the person who trumped in takes it.
Easier for you to avoid being the one that causes the trade.
And now you lead.
You don't have to, because it could also be beneficial to play a bunch of the same number and get those that covered up next to each other. All right, now everyone bids, so go ahead and cover up a number.
So that was green 8.
Yes.
Green's the color.
Now we're all set, so now our yellow card can go ahead.
Red 6.
So that means you're out of green. But it also means you win.
Yay. Finally.
So now it's your lead.
Oh, yes. So now no one can play red anymore.
Right, so you are all out of red, so you can go ahead and take the red one away and just add it to your pile of tokens.
Okay, and then so does blue trump yellow?
Nope. Besides that, there is no trump. So now you're
Okay.
just trying to not cause a quantum paradox. So you need to play cards that exist.
Okay.
And you can still take tricks.
Yellow 7.
Okay? So put your token on yellow 7. Yellow 6. Yellow 5.
I do not have yellow. And green 4.
Okay, so that works. So yellow 7 1. Uh-oh.
I think the universe explodes.
I think the universe has just imploded. So show your hand. So 5 and a 7 left. You'll notice there are no 5s or 7s left available to play. So indeed, you have caused a quantum paradox and the universe has imploded. How many tricks did you take?
2.
So your score for this round would be -2.
I'm doing great.
How many tricks did you take? 1. All right, so you didn't make your bid, but you still get the 1 point for the trick that you did take. So your score after this round would be 1. Also 1.
3.
Okay, is that what you bid?
Yep.
All right, so we need to find the largest contiguous blob of Erlenmeyer flasks. Looks like, so it's a 3. So you would end with 6 points. So you would be the winner of this round, and then the game can continue. You can choose a set number of rounds to play, or you can choose to play to 11 or play to 21, or sort of up to you,
Okay.
like with most card games.
Okay. And it's like golf, so I win, right?
It's the second game I've played that someone's tried to pull that.
It's not a lot, but it's weird that it's happened
So,
twice.
what are the things here
Okay,
for?
so these here, these are just cute little kitties for you to look at, which we should all enjoy. But the reason they exist is that all of the cards that make up this board are reversible. So I can actually flip all of these and I get a different, so for increased replayability and an additional little bit of a challenge, you can, and I would continue flipping. So you would
Awesome.
end up with 1, 2, 3, and then this part would be like a separate.
And is this like in retail stores now, or?
It is not in retail store. We have it here. It is
Okay.
$30. It is available for pre-order on the website.
Gotcha.
We just got the stock shipped in. The poor truck driver had to drive to Atlanta yesterday to pick up the copies to be here for the convention. And
Okay.
anybody who's concerned, the pre-orders are going to start going out this week and next week. So
there's no 9s.
there are 9s. The 9s, you notice I had little kitties on the 9s. It's because you were playing a 4-player game.
Okay.
So in a 4-player game, we don't use the 9s. So the game is adjustable from 2 players up to 5. The 2-player version is a little bit different, but the rules for that are explained in the rule book. But it does play up to 5, and then you would use the 9s. The 9s, I just have the 9s in the box.
Okay. I was just curious. I didn't see them. I'm sorry.
They do exist. No, that's a really good question. They do exist. They're just in the box. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Any other
Yeah.
questions?
I think I don't have any. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.